Hello, welcome to AWR, Alpha Wrestling Reviews. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Ben.
So, a little bit about us. We're a brand new channel, and we want to address straight away that obviously this isn't very good quality. The sound isn't very good either. But we will hopefully, in time, be able to get better equipment, better recording, and also a better place to record. So the videos will be of better quality for you guys.
So the general concept of the channel is we will do wrestling reviews, we will do prediction shows. Paul has got some ideas for some good stuff that he will maybe do solo or we'll do as a group. What is it you say it's going to be called? If It Was Up to Me, and it's just an idea of like what we'd do if we were booking the shows and the events, how we'd play out storylines. So it is all going to be opinion based.
So first off, we're going to start with the NXT predictions. We know we're leaving this a bit late because we're actually recording this on Friday afternoon. NXT will be Friday evening, but we thought since NXT hasn't happened yet, we might as well throw it in with our Wrestlemania predictions as well. So I will let Ben start off with the first prediction.
So we'll start with the NXT Tag Team Championships, which is the holders, War Raiders, and they're taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet. Sean, your thoughts?
I think the War Raiders will come off with the win. Seeing that Aleister Black and Ricochet are on the main show of WrestleMania, I don't see them taking a pin. I personally think there'll be like a disqualification of some sort, or some sort of interference from one of the possible teams they face on Sunday. Paul?
I am also going with the War Raiders. I was torn between the two because I actually have the same prediction as Sean. I think either the Bar or Rusev and Nakamura will interfere in NXT, setting up for the WrestleMania match that they are also in on Sunday night. And I was torn between either Black and Ricochet winning by disqualification or the War Raiders picking up sort of a distraction win. So I'm torn, but I'm going to go with the War Raiders distraction win.
I think I'm with Paul. I can't see any real reason behind Aleister Black and Ricochet taking the titles when they're getting such a good run on the main roster at the moment. Whereas with the War Raiders, they're going to take it, going forward, they're going to be with NXT for a little bit longer. The idea of them getting a clean win over Black and Ricochet seems a little bit foolish with them going into Mania. They're going to want to look strong. I can't see WWE putting them over.
Especially taking NXT titles into Mania itself. They're not going to unify them, are they?
It's not going to get much of a coverage on the main show either, on Raw or SmackDown. So for them to win, it's just it doesn't really make any sense. So War Raiders, I can see holding on to it for quite a while. They'll get a little bit more strength from beating Black and Ricochet as well, whether it's clean, whether there is outside interference, I think it's highly likely.
Do you think they'll get called up soon?
I think the tag team division is lacking on the main roster. I know there's some good teams, but I just don't think there's the strength there used to be.
I think maybe SummerSlam.
For there to be two tag team titles, SmackDown and Raw, with not a lot of calibre in the tag team division, I think they're going to need to bring some up.
Ironically, it's the same as the women's division,
yeah.
Isn't it? But well,
lacking in numbers.
Okay, so next we have a singles match for the United Kingdom Championship. Pete Dunne, who has held that championship since May of 2017, I think it's
684 days.
Jesus.
That's a lot of days.
That was NXT Takeover Chicago beating Tyler Bate, wasn't it? The inaugural champion.
That was a very good match.
And he will be facing the giant Ustash man. That's Austrian for you ask.
So he doesn't look like an ostrich.
The man from Austria, Walter. Ben.
It's going to be over quick. Walter's going to win. There's no two ways about it. Pete Dunne is main roster material. He'll be there. I want to say Raw or SmackDown after Mania.
Yeah.
He's going to get a push.
He's already had a main roster appearance as well, facing Enzo Amore, didn't he?
He doesn't count anymore. We're not allowed to speak about it.
Oh yeah.
Against he who should not be named. Yeah.
So I want to see Pete Dunne win. I like Pete holding the title. He's given it some real sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Panache.
It's given it a little bit of worth. It's a title that holds depth of having.
Do you not feel
he's carried it well, but now it is time for him to step up. Show what he's really about. And Walter is he's going to take the title and he's going to hold it a long time.
But you're going Walter, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
I would personally like to see Pete Dunne win because I was born in Birmingham, so Birmingham represent. And yeah, I feel like same thing as Ben. Pete Dunne is definitely Triple H's new little
Experiment.
yeah.
Let's hope it's not the failed experiment like Sin Cara, if you remember the absolute
Drew
cluster.
McIntyre the first time he came to
Oh,
WWE.
Christ. Yeah.
But I hope Pete Dunne doesn't. I hope it's not over quick. I hope Pete Dunne puts up a fight, but ultimately Walter will come out as champion, which is a bit disappointing.
I'm also going with Walter, but I think this could be in top 3 of match over the weekend. I don't think this is
I've
going
got
to
a
be a
horrible
squash.
feeling it could steal the show even
I
over
think it
Mania.
will. Yeah, no, I think it possibly will. For those of you that haven't seen Walter in was it Progress as well, wasn't
Yes,
it?
progress involved.
The man is, for his size, is awesome. He's absolutely superb. Pete Dunne again, another amazing wrestler. But I think Pete Dunne's time has come. I think, as Ben thought, he's going up to the main roster.
He's done.
He's done. He's absolutely done.
He's Pete Dunne.
Christ. So I think Walter will win.
Okay, up
Way
next.
to go.
Up next, we have the NXT Women's Championship with Shayna Baszler defending against Bianca Belair, Kairi Sane, and Io Shirai. Paul?
I was torn. I think it's going to be between 2 people. I think it'll either be Belair or Shirai. I'm going with Io Shirai. I actually think Baszler will get called up. I don't think Baszler will take the pin either. I think it actually might be Kairi Sane, which could possibly set up a heel turn for Sane.
Yeah.
And they have a
That's
bit
the
of a feud.
feud going forward.
Yeah, and
Shayna Baszler's getting a call up.
I think Baszler will go up
Overdue.
because with Rousey taking a sabbatical, not leaving,
Yeah, they need
sabbatical.
another. They need another hard pass. Oh, I can't say that on camera, can I? They need another tough person in the women's division.
But yeah, so that's my opinion. Io Shirai, but I think this match. It was rumoured this match could be a ladder match, but after NXT Wednesday night, it stayed as a fatal forward. So it's a bit disappointing, but yeah. So I'll go with Io Shirai.
I'm with Paul. I can't see Bianca Belair taking the title anytime soon. Kairi Sane, she's got it in her. Her and Io Shirai could have a fantastic feud, and I think it's great going forward. Shayna Baszler's definitely ready for a call up to the women's division. The women's division on the main roster is lacking in strength and depth, especially with Rousey. As you say, she's going to be taking a sabbatical for the majority of 2019. You know, when you look at contenders for the women's championships, you know, you've got your Flairs, your Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley. Banks and Bayley, if they're going to hold the tag team titles for a bit longer, you know, who else is going to come into the fold? I can't see Natty or Nia Jax, you know, featuring in the the main title scene anytime soon.
I also have another prediction, but I'm going to leave that until the NXT Championship match because this also plays part into that as well. But yeah, so Sean.
I think Shayna's going to retain.
Really?
Yeah, I think she'll hold it for a bit longer, and then eventually she'll get called up, and we'll have our full. I think Shayna's going to retain. I think she'll hold it for a majority of the year up to SummerSlam. She'll lose it on the takeover before SummerSlam, and then we'll have the 4 horsewomen. I think Ronda's going to make a return at SummerSlam as well because they've teased it so many times. Because there was in-ring.
Who's Ronda going to side with for the 4 horsemen? Who's
It'll be the 4 because in NXT there is Shayna Baszler and 2 others. I forget their name. My apologies.
You've got Jessamine Duke.
That's
She's
the
the tall blonde one who apparently they think is up for a singles push because she's come out the best. Then you also have Roderick Strong's wife who is
Mrs. Strong.
I should know this. Marina Shafir, thank you.
That's the one, yeah. I think we'll have them versus Lynch, Charlotte, Banks and Bayley at SummerSlam. The 4 horsewomen of WWE versus the 4 horsewomen of UFC or MMA. But yeah, that's my prediction. Baszler retains.
Okay, next one.
Then we're on to the NXT North American Championship. Velveteen Dream, the champion, versus Matt Riddle. Sean, I know you've got some pretty cool ideas with this one. I mean, personally, I'm just going to put it out there. I don't like Velveteen Dream. He's good, but I just don't like him. It's just, I don't know, he reminds me too much of Prince.
See, I think he's a unique character, and I think he's something that's not there at the moment. I didn't get him until I started watching his takeover. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream a couple of months ago, almost over a year ago.
I think
now. That's
gives
what
the championship
won me over.
He gives the championship a little bit of interest. No, it's not. The North American Championship, being still quite new, it's not really got any real sort of history behind it.
I think hot potato with it since the start of the year.
Yeah,
it's not helped
it at all.
Ricochet to Gargano.
If you're going to give it to someone, you need to give it to someone who's going to be able to carry it for a while.
I'm still mad they took it off Gargano.
Yeah.
He could have carried that so well.
He could have made it what it was. You know, like with the Intercontinental Championship and the US title, they went a bit stale, so they put it on some big names to give it. What's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more prestige. So when Cena took the US title, it was stale, it was stagnant. It then got defended
he come out
weekly.
with a really cool spinny one, didn't he?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the second
recently.
time.
When he beat
Big
Cena.
Cena.
Mania 31.
Cena that found the gym.
Yes.
And he
When
kept
John
issuing his
Stewart-
US Open challenge, and you know it gave the title a bit of prestige, and I think that's what the NXT North American Championship needs. It needs a big character behind it. I know Velveteen Dream is a big, you know, he's got character. He's very enigmatic, charismatic, but he needs the title. It needs.
It's very out there.
It just needs some sort of real stability to it. It needs to stop getting hot potatoed around. If they're going to put it on someone that's going to carry it for a while, I think Matt Riddle is the guy to do it going forward.
He's not been there long enough. He's had.
But they put a rocket up this guy's backside.
If I was going to put the North American Championship on anyone, I'd put it on Keith Lee.
That's what plays into
like
my
Keith Lee.
So I'm gonna jump in here and I'm gonna say my opinion. I think Matt Riddle's gonna win. I think Dream will get called up, and I think Matt Riddle's gonna go on to where Keith Lee, who is one of my favourite independent wrestlers, I'm so glad he signed for WWE, will turn heel on Matt Riddle, and I think he will give Matt Riddle his first loss.
I have just had a thought. Matt Riddle wins. Drew Gulak comes in for the heel turn. Drew Gulak versus, because they had a tag team, didn't they? Back in Evolve.
I'm still on the Keith Lee bandwagon.
I do like Keith Lee.
But yeah, my opinion is Matt Riddle. And then finally we have Vacant holding the championship.
He's had some good bits.
Oh yeah, even the Divas Championship. I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think have possibly the most decorated superstar in wrestling history.
Yeah, just not mentioned though.
Banter. So we have the NXT Championship, which is vacant at the moment after, sadly, Tommaso Ciampa has had to have neck surgery.
Hashtag beard goals.
Could be out for over 2 years, but they're actually now sort of pushing him when they're doing all these vignettes of, you know, him on WWE.com and on the YouTube channel. He's going to come back as a babyface if he comes back at all.
This is going to be match up.
It was unusual to see what was happening with him and Johnny Gargano to begin with as well, because when they stepped up to the main roster,
especially when Vince McMahon
They-
messed them up. Yeah.
They were,
how long was their feud on NXT?
a year and a half.
Yeah, and then they just come up to the main roster and all of a sudden they're best friends again.
It was
Just because Gargano had a brief heel turn, and with that they were
brief overnight.
They were penciled in to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and then at the end of the celebration, Gargano was going to turn, but they scrapped that when Gargano didn't receive that much of a hurrah on the main roster.
Can you blame them? Because the way that they booked him, you know, it's like these parallel universes.
It's
They
Johnny
come to the main
Wrestling.
roster.
I mean, I
they're
was going to say, the
completely
guy's
different.
name is Johnny Wrestling. It's
Makes you laugh, doesn't it? So,
This will be match of the night.
and also, what do you think the falls will be? So, actually going to say
it's going to. I think Johnny Gargano will take the first one.
Undisputed Era will get involved at some point, guarantee it.
So I'm going to say Adam Cole wins it overall, and I think Cole will steal the first one, maybe a grab of the tights, something like that. Gargano will fight back and win the second one, but this is where my women's predictions come into play. I actually think that this is where Marina Shafir will take out Candice LeRae, who will be at his side, distracting Gargano and causing Adam Cole to win the final fall, and Shafir will join the Undisputed Era, allowing Duke to go off and have a singles match, which I think is what they want to do. Baszler go up, and I don't think after Mania Rousey will return to WWE until next year. I will go into that in my own predictions sometime later. But yeah, so I'm going with Adam Cole, NXT
Yeah, Adam
champion.
Cole's going to take the title. Johnny Gargano's ready for his main roster push.
Raw SmackDown.
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 Yeah, SmackDown. Adam Cole's so over in NXT as well, and he can do good things for the championship.
I would like
It
to see
needs someone, someone of Adam Cole's stature to take the title on after it being vacated.
When he had that no disqualification match with Aleister Black, I can't remember which takeover it was, a little while ago. The one where he ended up cutting his whole hand open, and then he went. Oh, it was the night before Royal Rumble. Was it Philadelphia? Yeah. And he ended up coming to Royal Rumble the next day, and his hand was taped up. But that match was superb, and I actually wanted him to end Black's undefeated streak that night. I had him down. It was a bit of a shame, but yeah. So, anyways, I'm going Adam Cole. I can't believe he's been on.
I'm going Adam Cole as well.
I think it's
Purely-
pretty much a given.
He is.
You still think it'd be 2-1?
He's the post. No, I'm going 3-0.
Do you think clean sweep?
I'm going 3-0.
3-0?
Yeah.
Two
Why
out of
would
three
they
falls.
carry on doing it?
Oh yeah, so two.
Unless he's going to get two at once. Yeah.
But they had a little like face-off on NXT. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, and Adam Cole kind of spoiled the strength in numbers. So Undisputed Era have to get involved at some point.
Okay. And are you also going Cole then?
Yeah, definitely Adam Cole. Purely because Johnny Gargano's main roster, they're not going to put the title on him and not take him up. It's going to happen.
Do you know, I'm looking back at this though, and I'm looking at either everyone that loses the belt or majority of them in these matches. There's a lot of call-ups that we keep saying. I don't know whether we're going to be right with all
after
these.
Mania.
It's
There are always call-ups.
But there weren't that many that come up last year. You had.
And also, some of them have already come up. I mean, Aleister Black and Ricochet, my favourite tag team
they're
at the
up
moment.
already. I mean, Ricochet's my favourite wrestler at the moment.
Ricochet's insane.
I think he's
Just-
awesome. So, that's NXT basically. Again, we're sorry that this is so late, and we're going to try.
it, who gives a damn? It's been done.
Next up, we have WrestleMania 35. I am looking forward to this. To the pre-show. So, first off, we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal / Armbar.
Armbar.
Sean,
Explain the armbar.
confirmed names so far.
And we have Braun Strowman, Michael Shea, Colin Jost,
The epitome of irrelevance.
Apollo Crews, or Apollo, however Vince wants to call him that day,
Oh, I forgot he's not Cruz anymore, is it? It's just Apollo now.
Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Jinder Mahal, No Way Jose, the glorious Bobby Roode, the next Kurt Angle, Chad Gable.
Who should have been Kurt Angle's real son?
Yes.
I digress.
Jason Jordan?
Sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
Then we have Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado. is
Yeah,
it?
Lindsay Dorado.
Bray Wyatt's little brother,
The great one, Bo Dallas.
Curtis Axel, Heath Slater.
Does anyone know he's got kids?
Has he?
He's got kids.
He's never. Rhino, Victor Connor, the Ascension.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Andrade, not Cien Almas though. We have Ali, not Mustafa. Shelton Benjamin,
Is his mum going to be there?
I hope so.
Mama Benjamin's got to be there.
Mama
She's
Benjamin.
not dead.
Mama Benjamin
It's diabetes.
kind of.
Yeah, cut that one out.
Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. My two favourite, my favourite tag team, Heavy Machinery.
Really?
I love Otis.
I
I love
Otis, but
Otis.
Tucker for me is just boring.
And then
Tucker's just
and then
he's
we
not
have-
needed, is he? It's not like Otis needs some
three.
muscle.
But not one or two.
where are they?
C3.
I'm going.
Also known as Chris Masters V2.
Who are you going for?
Well, the obvious one would be Braun Strowman, but
Not
I-
going to happen.
I feel like the Memorial Battle Royal has now just lost its prestige. They're going to have one of them pointless celebrities.
So they've had this since WrestleMania 30 in 2014. Other than Big Show, the second year at 31, they've always had a surprise name winning. Cesaro first year,
Yeah.
then like I say, Big Show. Then it was Baron Corbin making his main roster debut. Then Mojo Rawley.
yeah, that was.
And then last
I'm
year,
confused
Broken
about
Matt.
that too.
Broken Matt last year.
Broken Matt was good. I'm confused about the whole Mojo Rawley thing because
Um,
although he could be in this because they are the only confirmed names today, and I believe Gronkowski just retired.
God.
29, isn't he?
Yeah.
Another one who I've just Do not give a monkey's left tail. So yeah, who have you got?
Oh, it's going to be one of the pointless celebrities, isn't it?
No.
No.
Okay, if we're going hardcore, who I think it is, Otis. I want Otis to win.
I can't see one of them getting any sort of form of a singles push, so to speak.
So
unless they're going to break them up, but they're so good for the tag team division.
Or Andrade, probably.
No.
So I'm going to do a little bit of fantasy booking here. I think the moment the ring bell hits, I think both Jost and Shay are going to roll out of the ring until we're down to the bare bones of superstars, and they're going to sneak in and throw Corbin out. He's going to get back in and murder them. Oh yeah, Strowman, sorry. He's going to get back in and murder them and throw them out, and I think it's going to be down to Ali and Andrade, and I think Andrade is going to win.
I can see at the beginning of the match Braun Strowman making a beeline for the pointless celeb, and as you say, the epitome of irrelevance.
Just sheer terror on their
He's
faces.
gonna make a beeline for him. They're gonna bolt out of the ring. Strowman's gonna chase them. They're gonna go off. There's gonna be a backstage segment. You're gonna see him fighting in the car park and
Please no.
Strowman tearing stuff up, looking for him, and he'll find like a red convertible and just like fold it up, put it in his pocket.
Because you've got to get over www.shop.com.
Exactly.
Plug.
That was awful that night, wasn't
Brought
it?
to you by Chevrolet.
We just can destroy a car. Also, the same car
It was
of this night is on the
It was
shop.com.
announced like 10 minutes after it happened.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I can see Strowman just getting completely worked up with those two. They're going to find their way back to the ring. Strowman's going to eliminate the two of them, and they're going to take them out with him.
See, I think when they eliminate him, if it's the way that I go, I reckon he'll get back in and just murder them, and they'll get thrown out by someone else.
Yeah, but there's no way Strowman's going to win it. These two.
And I also want to clarify, I do not see Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. I think he's going to be a night after Mania thing.
As much as I'd like to see him at Mania, I'd love to see him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
It happened last year.
I'd love to see him tear it up, but I do think he's set for a different kind of role in WWE. I can't see him coming back as the Eater of Worlds.
Well, he's preparing for Nash at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, don't call it WWE. It's not his baby. It's just JoJo's. She's done a thing like Star Wars where she's conceived it all on her own.
Like Jesus.
Christmas all over
Well,
again.
this has got a bit off subject. Anyway, next we have. Oh, so sorry. Who are you going for then?
My money's on Shelton.
I love Shelton. He's so underutilized.
No.
Yeah,
Because he
Shelton.
hates his theme song now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He can't stand it.
Charlie has to interfere.
As much as I'd like to see Ali win it, because I like watching him perform, I think he's set
I'm not
for
on the
bigger
Ali
things.
bandwagon.
I do think he's set for bigger things.
Never been on the Ali bandwagon.
Literally everyone else in it is a filler, unless they're going to let Tyler Breeze win it just because I like his new haircut.
He's got a new haircut.
Yeah, it's short. He's got a little. It's like he was on. He was on a
Is it like
backstage.
Fandango's one?
Actually,
Yeah.
ironically, I think it is. Yeah.
Well,
Fandango.
What if Fandango comes back?
Sorry, who?
Fandango.
So you're going with Shelton Benjamin?
I reckon
That's,
Shelton, yeah.
Out there,
I am.
pick. Do you know what I think it's going to be funny?
Purely because of how they've booked it previous years, apart from like, the Big Show winning it.
Do you know what I think it's going to be funny? When we're watching it at Mania, and he's going to go out like third or fourth.
Who, I reckon EC3
Still win it.
EC3 is going to be first eliminated because I don't know what he's done to
Got to get
Vince.
himself
Oh,
into
he is
another tag.
paid off Vince.
I don't know why. How though?
I think he's maybe head too big.
He has got a massive head.
Just in general.
It's huge.
Moving on. Right, so we have the women's battle royal. Again, I could not give a monkeys. But anyway, confirmed names. We have, I'm just going to read them out here. Dana Brooke, apparently with one arm because she went toe to toe with Ronda Rousey, even though she got absolutely battered. We have Mickie James, we have Ruby Wright with 2 T's because of copyright apparently. Liv Morgan, I absolutely love this woman, she is stunning. Sarah Logan, Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Zelina Vega, and the crazy Scottish woman, Nikki Cross. Poor Asuka. Now, I'm actually going to go with someone who I didn't read out there, who was supposed to be in the SmackDown Women's title picture, and now that they've put it on Charlotte, she's not. I'm going with Lacey Evans.
Ooh.
And I think she's going to last throw out Asuka. Just to really wind the crowd up.
There's
What
been
is
a lot of
Asuka
pointing at
doing?
Lacey
Why is she
Evans.
getting buried?
I don't understand it. It's the same as Nakamura as well.
Yeah.
Last year
He should have won that. I'm sorry.
It was.
You
It
could
was
have-
so frustrating to see two such good stars just getting.
I understand that they wanted to keep the
Cracked
belt on Styles because he was the cover of 2K19 that come
Yeah.
out, but there was plenty of time to put it on Nakamura. He could have turned heel while he was champion, maybe at Saudi, and then lost the belt at, say, SummerSlam. When you're around, or July, when you're just starting to hype up 2K19, and AJ could have had the belt back again.
Let's face it, Rusev and Nakamura as in-ring competitors are good.
Great.
They are.
Look how
They're
over he was
fantastic.
last year.
Exactly.
You know, he was
I
Rusev
feel
Day.
like I feel like Rusev and Nakamura are now like the bar 2.9.
Yeah.
Because they've had countless matches and then out of nowhere they're attacking.
Again, you look at in-ring quality and you look at Cesaro, he's up there with the best of them at the moment.
He's probably one of my favourite wrestlers.
Vince,
Yeah.
when he had his push in 2014, he won the inaugural Andre the Giant More Battle Royal in a spot that I absolutely went mad for when he picked
Well,
up
when he
Big
picked
Show.
up Big Show.
I was watching that live and I think I woke everyone up in my house. It was
I
hilarious.
threw a bit.
But apparently the reason that Vince didn't push him was because he didn't like the fact that his English wasn't that good. Even though the man speaks 5 languages, he didn't think that he'd get over.
He's got a lift now, hasn't he?
So, I don't know.
He already
But,
speaks better English than Nikki Cross.
yeah, that's hilarious.
I'm going with Mandy Rose or Nikki Cross, I think.
Yeah, I'm with Sean. I think Nikki Cross is going to take it.
Nikki Cross?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say I think she is. I want her to take it.
I think she come up, she got very... Again, she's another one that I've never got on the bandwagon of. Even in NXT, everyone said how great she was, and I didn't give a monkey.
She reminds me of Paige if Paige had an addiction to meth.
Okay.
Pause, because I'm not putting that.
But anyway, let's go on to the next match.
Where were we?
Singles.
The Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy.
Luckiest man in the world.
Buddy Murphy.
How annoyed you was the other night. We all thought this was main roster because it wasn't announced. The only matches that were announced on the pre-show were the 2 battle royals, and we thought, oh, it might be the match that we'll announce next to be on the pre-show. No, they decided to put Cruiserweights on the pre-show yet again. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Vince.
Yeah,
Disappointing.
Anyway, you can carry on that one.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy.
Tony Nese.
Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese.
Whoops. Didn't notice that.
Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, I just.
No.
Do you not see it?
Tony Nese, I think also. I know we keep saying
You don't think Buddy Murphy's going to get a call up to the main roster, do you, Paul?
Well, let's face it, he's not 205, is he?
No.
He's not 205 pounds. We're not stupid, for Christ's sake. You know, he needs to come up. He needs to start
I'm
wrestling.
205 pounds, and I've got no legs.
Wow.
But no, I'm actually going with Tony Nese. I had never heard of this guy until the Cruiserweight Classic nearly 3 years ago, and I was blown away by him. Yeah, middle of 2016.
When TJP wasn't a.
I was never on the TJP bandwagon.
He just got random tattoos.
I was rooting for Grand Metal League then. That's another one I think is a great wrestler and it's so underutilized.
No, I thought Zack Sabre Jr.
No,
Because he
I
was-
knew he had because he'd never signed a contract with them.
Yeah.
No, he never signed one with them. But no, I'm going with Tony Nese. I'm a big fan of this guy. I think he can maybe have a, you turn him babyface, and I think have him versus Drew Gulak, like you were saying earlier on. Because Gulak's a great wrestler, and I think Buddy Murphy needs to come up.
You've said it all. I think for me, it's got to be Buddy Murphy.
Okay, I'll just be on my own then. It's cool.
I'd give it for Buddy Murphy, just pure fact that he has to go on.
So I think
Yeah, Buddy Murphy, Cruiserweight. I like it. It's just, but as you say, like the 205 thing.
Right, so you've gone with Buddy Murphy.
Buddy
You've gone with
Murphy.
Buddy Murphy. I'm on my own here with Tony Nese. And next up, we have the match that I thought was going to be the pre-show match. Now, this match has only just been announced due to a leak, actually, and WWE had to announce it early. It is Hawkins and Ryder versus the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Hawkins is going to get the pin.
Yes.
Woo woo woo.
I think this
Please
might
don't
be
do
one of
that
the
again.
quick ones. I think Ryder.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the squash matches.
Yeah.
Ryder will take out like Dawson or Dash or whoever starts.
I will be surprised if
Which
this does
one's
start.
which again?
Dawson is
The bald one.
Dawson's the one that looks like
Yes.
Ron Anderson.
Dawson, yes, Dawson is the bald one with the beard, and Wilder is the guy with hair more than me, and I'm jealous.
I think Hawkins is going to get the roll up.
Yeah, I can see it being over quick.
Like
Vince is still.
Vince is punishing him.
He's still trying to punish the
I think
revival.
they're
Hence
gone.
why they're facing the Major Brothers. It's why else would you put them in the tag team picture when they've, you know?
All they did was ask for a match.
Yeah, I just.
And do you know what annoys me?
294 straight
Half
losses.
of the people that I spoke to that are wrestling fans had no idea of, because this was announced on exclusive video on WWE's YouTube channel, and majority of people didn't know. I just told YouTube, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't think I subscribe to their YouTube channel anymore.
So it's stupid. They had a week, at least a week, where they could have booked this and they could have given it a little bit of push. No, they didn't.
There's no real heat behind it.
No, that's why I think this is going to be one of the
It's
squash
gonna be a
matches.
squash match.
This is going to be a up yours to the revival, and I'm also going with Hawkins Ryder, and I think like you, Hawkins is going to get the pinfall.
He has to.
Ending the losing streak, finally, 200. What he said, he said it on the video.
294 or something.
I think it was 264. But okay, still.
That's a lot of losses.
A lot. It's a lot.
And then,
especially when you're that
okay,
good.
next we have what could possibly be one of my favourite matches: AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
Great match.
I just want to see what spot they do with the RKO.
Now, we just said before we started recording this, they've already given away the phenomenal forearm into the RKO spot. I don't think that's going to be in. I think they're going to have some sort of amazing RKO to finish it off.
I'm gonna cry. If it's good, I'll
It's going to
cry.
be amazing. Because Randy Orton's invested as well. You know, it's like Brock Lesnar. If he's invested in a match, he'll put his all in. If he's not, you can see he does not give a flying F.
Flying forearm.
Flying full. But
I see.
That was awful. That was awful. I'm cutting that one out. But I'm also going with Randy Orton. I think Styles won last year's Mania, which
Yeah.
he shouldn't have done. He won the year before's Mania, which he also. Well, no, he should have won that one.
But he lost to Chris Jericho.
What's everyone's thinking with AJ going forward after this? I can see Randy Orton, you know, in the main.
I think AJ's going to Raw.
Yeah.
I don't. I think he'll stay on SmackDown. I think the IC and the US titles will be switched shows. They usually do that, and I would like to see AJ go for the IC title.
Again, I think it needs a big person on it.
Gargano.
No.
Styles Gargano.
We said Big Pet. Oh, that'd be a sick match. Styles Gargano.
Yeah.
Because AJ's put on a couple of 5-star matches.
Yeah.
Gargano's definitely has.
Oh, the Philadelphia match against Andrade. Back then,
Also, I think
CNL match.
It's going to be a good step, like, you know, step forward for Randy, heading towards Money in the Bank. We
Which
won't
is
cover
now-
any predictions on that because that will be in one of our future videos.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
But it is now in May, isn't it?
Yes, I'm
It's
very
been pushed
excited.
forward, they've switched it around. I don't like that, I actually prefer it in June. I think it splits up SummerSlam and WrestleMania perfectly. I think
Yeah, I
if
do.
you, because it's now one of the big five, and I think if you put it straight after Mania, I think it loses a bit of panache. And I'm not
But
a fan of it
I'd
being
much
here.
rather have a Money in the Bank so close to Rumble than like a fast lane or a payback. I just find them really
Bring back
forced.
Backlash.
Backlash.
Oh, yeah, but you don't want the
Yeah.
absolute backlash that was called from Backlash last year. Pun intended.
Please stop doing that. Next.
Hold on, did we cover who predicted who?
I got
think
Orton.
we went Orton.
You got
Orton,
Orton.
yeah.
You got Orton.
Sorry, AJ, I love you, but
Oh, this one.
Not too
what have we
phenomenal.
got next?
So the next
Oh.
one is the singles match for the United States Championship. Samoa Joe, the champion, versus Rey Mysterio.
On one leg?
For those of you that don't know, on Monday Night Raw when he faced Baron Corbin, he went to do a backflip and he landed awkwardly and has actually legitimately injured his ankle. He announced this on his Twitter,
He did.
showing a little video of the injury. It does look legitimate.
If you didn't see it, it's proper gnarly.
It looked painful. And that was why his match on SmackDown against Andrade was cancelled. So if he's not in it, which I don't think, I'm actually going to cover two predictions here. A bit of both. Also, I want to point out, if on the night any predictions get changed, any matchups get changed, we actually have the option to stand there and change our predictions on the night. So say, for argument's sake, Corbin isn't in the match and it is Cena. Spoilers. Then we can obviously change our predictions then and there just to make it fair. But
But
anyway,
Cena's in it. We're not gonna see it happen, are we? We're just, you know.
week
curtain
shuts.
yeah.
But anyway, here, if it is Rey Mysterio, again, a little bit of fantasy booking. I think Dominic's going to be up on the apron. I think Ray's going to go attack Joe. Joe's going to move out of the way. Ray's going to accidentally knock Dominic off, and then Joe's going to knock in killing clutch and retain. Sowing a seed for Dominic to turn on Rey Mysterio with a possible match at SummerSlam, which should be full circle, because if you remember, back in SummerSlam 2005, Ray fought Eddie for the rights to Dominic, which is weird AF.
Do you know he's actually like a couple of weeks older than me?
Christ. Have you seen how tall he is?
He's like I think I'm taller than him.
Just FYI, these guys are both nearly 6'4" and I stand at 5'8".
I'm 6'5" actually.
Yeah, but he's still nearly 6'4".
So, but no, I think because Ray's been trying to push Dominic into the wrestling business for a while. He's been trained,
been working.
So I think this is
guy
where
looks jacked.
I think this is where they'll sow the seed, and I think he's going to bring Dominic straight in.
What's funny about sowing the seed?
Ray's going to sow his seed.
I didn't think that one through, did I? But if it's not Rey Mysterio, another guy who's announced his frustrations online is Kevin Owens. It shows that he's not going to be in the Battle Royal. So if Ray is out, I'd like to see not Cena, but I'd like to see Owens in.
Owens is wasted talent at the moment.
However, I still think Joe will retain because I think we'll have Zayn come back and cost Owens.
Ooh.
It needs to
He's in
happen.
New York.
Because before
He's in New York.
before
He was in
Kofi,
Edinburgh a minute ago.
Who?
Sami Zayn.
that's awkward.
Sami Zayn's Instagram, check it out. Yesterday he was posting pictures of his time in Edinburgh. Now whether he's still there or not is a different thing.
He tweeted yesterday he was in New York.
I'm not on Twitter.
But I still think before Kofi was added into WWE Championship match, it was going to be Owens, and I still think Bryan would have retained because Sammy would have returned, costing him. So here I'm going Owens to replace Mysterio if Mysterio cannot compete. However, Samoa Joe still retained. Now, if it's John Cena that's put in here, which let's face it could be a possibility because that was a rumoured match back in February, we'll change the predictions on the night. But yeah, so at the moment I'm going Samoa Joe to retain, and I think he needs to be honest.
Yeah,
It's his
Samoa
first
Joe needs.
win.
Yeah, he needs a good run.
He's had 2 years of injuries, isn't it?
Yeah, but if he's up against Ray, it's going to be a hell of a match. Yeah, Joe needs a good run. He's had, a couple of good pushes that started off well, but were interrupted by injuries. We all know how good he is. He could be one of the top dogs over the next 2-3 years. A match with Ray, if Ray's full fit, it could be good. It could be one of the better ones of the night.
The way that Ray described it, though, it doesn't sound promising.
It's not looking good
No,
for him,
which is a shame.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
shame.
massive shame.
I thought he was going to be Strowman's surprise mystery partner last year at Mania.
There
And
was a
it
lot
turned
of
out to
talk
be
about
a
it.
10-year-old boy. Thanks, WWE.
You leave John Combs to say that.
Sorry, Nicholas, please don't come and give me those hands. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Wrong. Right, we're just
edit that out.
gonna move.
No.
Did you say your prediction?
No, I think
skip over that one.
I think Joe will retain.
Yeah.
But the one person no one's said about replacing Rey Mysterio is the guy he won it off. Is R-Truth gonna?
No.
No.
Do you reckon?
No.
No, I'd like to see Owens, but yeah, I think Joe.
Please,
will
no.
I reckon
I think
maybe
Joe
Truth
will
is going
retain.
to intervene in the Women's Battle Royal and help
Oh, he
Carmella win.
needs to, he needs
It's
to.
going to be James Ellsworth, 0.2. It's 2.0.
No. Just no. So you're.
Except Truth has
Yeah,
got
I'm
a
going
heck of a
Joe.
chin on him.
You're going Joe. You're
Joe.
Joe. I'm going Joe. Like I say, if anyone else comes in and replaces Mysterio, that's not the men that we've already said. We will change our predictions on the night.
Next one, we've got the women's tag team match, which is a fatal four-way. The Boss and Hug Connection versus the Iconics. Nia Jax and Tamina, and Beth Phoenix and Natalia. And is it really bad? I just don't actually care
No,
for this one.
I couldn't give a monkey.
I don't like the Iconics.
I don't like the Iconics.
Oh, you're gonna love my prediction then.
Do you think the Iconics are going to win?
I don't see the point of Beth and Natalia. I don't see the point of Beth's comeback.
Natalia was going to.
They always have a legend at WrestleMania. That's the thing, my prediction is.
Why do they need Beth there when they've got Colin
I'm
Jost
sorry.
and Michael Che?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just awesome. I mean, you might as well have Arnold Schwarzenegger there. That would be better. But no, they're going to have these guys.
I've heard rumours that he will be back.
Yeah. New WWE champion confirmed. Right, a little bit of fantasy prediction. Again, I think that Beth will manage. I mean, it's not going to be like she's going to hold her up, but I think Beth will manage to get Nia up for the Glam Slam, and I reckon Iconics will throw Beth out and steal the win.
That'll be so over as well if she does that.
And I think there's going to be a malfunction in the junction. I think that Bailey might accidentally hit Banks, and I think Banks will turn on Bailey, turning heel. And if
This
you
happened
watch,
too many times.
if you watch my video that I'm going to do, if it were up to me, which would be my solo video later on, I'll film. Hopefully, it'll go up tomorrow. That will be part of my storyline going forward. But no, I'm going with Iconics. Stumped there, aren't you?
It's just,
I don't care for this.
it's hard. Yeah,
I couldn't.
it's hard to
Just
get
like,
invested in it.
I'm happy they got tag team championships for the women's division.
Oh,
But
well,
there's
well
no real,
deserved.
if you look at the women's tag team division, Banks and Bailey,
It was always,
that's it.
It
There
was
is-
always going to be
They're
there.
the only
Can I also
legitimate
just
tag
say
team.
Bailey just need a video that I will do in a couple of weeks' time is best and worst finishers.
You're
And
filling up your schedule.
yeah, but spoilers,
Balls are busy,
Bailey's
man.
finisher is in there and it's in the top 3 because the Bailey to Bailey sucks. Hate it. Hate it.
If
with
I
a
had to be
passion.
pushed for a prediction, I'd say the Iconics. I can't see Beth Phoenix sticking around for long. Tamina and Nia Jax are just awful.
But this is also going to rustle some feathers because people are going to say, oh, the Boston Hug are a tag team. They're not. They're two
No.
good single stars.
And-
the only actual tag team in that match are the Iconics.
Yeah, and the women's division, they need more competition for the women's title. Bailey and Sasha as singles competitors are outstanding. They need to be featuring in the women's title. What's the word? Picture. Yeah. So I can see it being the Iconics taking the victory. As I say, I can't see Beth and Natalia
No.
doing anything with it. I don't think Beth will stick around for the long
No.
run. I do think she'll feature a bit more behind the scenes.
They could possibly sow a seed. Maybe Natalia and Beth have a fallout next night on Raw. Maybe she stays for the night after Mania Raw,
I'm probably more excited for that.
sowing a seed for maybe Evolution down the line. Natalia versus Beth for Evolution. And then that goes. I mean, you had Lundra Blaze at Evolution last year. Great to see her back. She was superb. But no, so I'm sticking with Iconics. You have Iconics.
Iconics
Sean,
as
who do
well.
you have?
I don't
Can I not have an opinion?
You have to have an
think
opinion.
you have to say something. I can't see
I got Nia Jax
Bailey
just
and
because.
Sasha Banks taking it for the long run. I don't think they were ever meant to be the tag team champions for a long period. I
No.
think they were just to get it off the ground, up and running. And then the idea is it's going to be someone like the Iconics
Look
who
at-
need
I'm going to put myself in Vince's
to prove
head.
themselves.
Give it
Don't do
to
that.
Nia Jax and Tamina just because of their family.
Ugh.
Just because that's what.
Did you know Tamina's been the longest serving superstar
Yes.
that has not won a championship?
Also, if I heard this correct, that Nia Jax is Samoan.
Yes.
Yeah. She's
That
Rock's
makes
cousin.
sense.
Rock's
That-
cousin.
I know, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
But it makes sense as why she's always in the picture. Havens.
Yeah, but also I think you're right with the way they put it on the Boston Hug.
Yeah, it was to
If
get it off the
you-
ground.
If you go back to 2002, and I know it's a long way back. Now,
I
one
wasn't
of,
born.
I
one
was
of,
5 years old.
one of these guys' names obviously is no longer allowed to be mentioned in WWE for legitimate reasons. But when you look
For
at
those who want to know, it's Chris Benoit.
just ruined it for me. But you had Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit beat Edge and Rey Mysterio at No Mercy 2002. They only held it for 16 days,
Yeah.
but they were the inaugural champions. And I think it's also, it's a good sort of thing to put proper legitimate stars as the first champions because there'll only ever be one first.
It gives it a bit of prestige. As you say, they've done it with titles previously.
Because I think
The
they need to come
Iconics
away
need-
to be single
they
stars
need
to get
something
Boston Hug.
to get them.
They just
A
need someone to
little bit.
distract from their voices, really.
Don't.
I'll just say Peyton Royce is like
Yeah.
stunning.
I love
Ty
Ty
Dillinger, you've got a perfect 10 there. Yes,
Showing
showing 10.
spears now, isn't it?
Right, anyway,
Who's,
it's
who's Ty Dillinger?
Stan, the guy that got kicked in the face by Shawn Michaels backstage.
Just kick Stan!
Right,
Next up is the singles match for the Intercontinental Championship. The almighty Bobby Lashley versus, as we found out on Monday, the Demon Finn
yeah,
Balor.
been confirmed now.
Squash match, Finn Balor.
No.
I'm gonna say, if I said this to you guys off camera, if Conor McGregor is going to be at WrestleMania, I think this is the match he's going to interfere in. I think you're going to have Leo Rush be an absolute arse, distracting Balor, allowing Lashley to get in the way, probably make some sort of Irish joke which is going to annoy both of them, and McGregor is going to get him and murder him, causing a distraction at Lashley, Balor to get one over on Lashley, coup de grace, win. Whatever happens,
McGregor walks out the ring doing his Vince McMahon impression. Vince comes down, feud.
that is actually where he got it from.
Yeah.
That is where he got it from.
I think he's busy tweeting.
Busy
comedian.
being I can't
He's
say
too-
it,
he's-
but busy being a bit of an idiot.
I still think he's going to be in WWE. Possibly Saudi Arabia, which would be even more hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going
but
Demon Finn
It's
squash.
got to be Demon Finn. I don't think it's going to be squash. I'm actually quite upset. I was a huge fan of Lashley when he first came in. I was
For his comeback or his first one?
first one, and
Yeah,
I thought he'd be the first Black WWE champion when he was facing Cena at Backlash 2007. I thought that was a good match. That was also Cena's first ever Avalanche AA, which means top rope AA.
I do think Bobby Lashley has been the victim of some bad booking. His first run and his second run.
that absolute syndrome of a bleeding storyline with his sisters. That was just awful.
I don't remember that. I
Um,
should do.
But when he come back on the night after Raw, that generally was my biggest pop of the night. I am a massive Lashley fan, and I think the other reason why you could introduce McGregor into this is because they're both legitimate fighters. For those who don't know, Lashley was a MMA fighter in Bellator, not UFC, but Bellator, and he actually holds a 15-2 record. He's a hell of a fighter. That's why I want to see Lashley versus Lesnar.
I have a 15-2 record. I've eaten 15 donuts and then fell out twice.
I've got a record, but we won't talk about that.
Anyway, predictions, guys. Predictions.
Balor.
Balor. Next up, we have the Elias Consulate and who we think will interfere. I actually heard a rumour. Sorry,
I have
for cutting you off.
3 really good theories.
I hope it's not Cena, but the rumour that actually was only announced today was,
Yeah, it was.
that it's going to be the American Badass Undertaker coming back.
Well, no, so
Yes, it was announced today on
When
on
you showed
Sports
me,
Skeeter.
I thought when you showed me the American
he's pitched the idea, and it's just now Vince.
Because he doesn't want to do
Vince.
Dead Man anymore.
We all want it. Give it to
How long
us.
has it been? Like nearly 20 years?
2013.
Oh, no.
2003, sorry. Survivor Series, when he was buried by Kane, even though it was actually Vince McMahon that buried him. That was a little thing they skipped over.
Hey.
But I still think he should have come back last year. I mean, Roman Reigns was going to retire the Undertaker. He should have retired the Undertaker gimmick, and he should have had Mark Calloway.
Badass.
You should have Mark Calloway come back as the badass. Ever since then, but no, it's just.
He's never been Mark Calloway.
No, but like the American Badass. You should have retired this Dead Man gimmick, and then, but they haven't done that. They've ruined it. But anyway, yes. The rumour is, I'm actually going to go with. I think you're going to have a gong, and everyone's waiting for Undertaker to appear, and also he's going to come down on his bike.
Oh,
And I think the pop for that will be amazing. And I hope that they get the rights to the Limp Bizkit song again, because they did lose that. That was why they started using. You've done it now. That's it. Yeah. But I hope they get the rights back to Limp Bizkit, and we see American Badass come down in his cool ass bike.
He's looking in good shape as well, from what I've seen on his social media.
Yes, he's lost
down a lot.
30 pounds, 40
Yeah,
pounds.
he's
Down,
in good
down
shape.
to 270 now.
Let's be honest, he's not getting any younger. He's
53 now.
been through some.
pointless
Car
fact.
matches.
I share a birthday with him.
Sean is
24th.
also 55.
Yeah.
He was born on the 24th of March. I only know that because it was the other day.
And also, Sean is named after Shawn Michaels.
That's true.
And I used to live next to David Beckham's mum and dad. I felt left out.
Yeah, my 3 predictions are either Undertaker or John Cena, and then I read online that Post Malone will have something to do with it.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm obsessed.
Maybe Post Malone comes out and introduces the Undertaker. That'd be good.
No, I think what it will be is Elias will talk.
More pointless celebrities? I know Post Malone's not exactly pointless. I like Posty.
Yeah, so Elias will talk smack about New
It's a
York.
good job he's not on the pre-show because he'd be pre-Malone.
Tumbleweed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's it. That's my thing.
Can anybody like just not see the Elias concert going smoothly?
No.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
Is it?
He's never had a
They
smooth
would-
concert.
Oh no, he did.
Exactly.
He did actually. He did that when he was
Well,
when he was face, and I thought he was quite cool.
I love Elias. He's one of my favourites at the moment. Face, heel, whatever he does is gold.
Right.
I don't rate his singing all that highly. His gimmick is outstanding. He's a good in-ring performer. Something's got to happen. He deserves a bit of limelight for what he's done through the year. But I hate to say it, I think it will just be John Cena. I hope not.
I'm not. I will say what I think Cena's going to do in a minute. Anyway, next one.
So next we have got the big one.
Okay, so those of you that don't know, we're actually filming this part from, you'll see from the little flash because you're going to be editing. We're filming this a couple of hours later due to sound pollution. So we had to stop before because we know the quality of the video isn't exactly great as it is. That would have made it unbearable, so we had to stop and we're back here now. So we last were at the Elias concert, all thinking that, well, I think the American Badass is going to come back. But now we are at, Ben?
We are continuing with the singles match between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Thoughts, boys?
I am going to go with this one being the ref bump match. I think the ref is going to go down. I think McIntyre is going to cheat in some way. He's going to take advantage, try and go for the Claymore in the turnbuckle again. Oh, sorry, the post again. And this is where Drew's going to come out. He's going to attack McIntyre and allow Roman to get the win. My prediction, Roman Reigns. Sean?
I think Roman's going to get a squash.
Squash.
Yeah. It's his first singles competitive match since coming back from leukemia.
It's Drew.
But it's Roman.
Give it Drew.
But Roman.
We can see this being thick.
This could be a thing. Yeah.
But Drew?
I think less than 3 minutes, this match.
Listen, you honestly think it's going to be that quick?
Yes.
10, I don't think it'll be long, but I think 10, 15 minutes.
Nah. Less than
I think we're going to see at least one Claymore kick out and one spear kick out.
I think this is going to be the surprise, and I think Drew's going to win.
What? Oh.
We've all said outside interference is going to play a part, but I don't think it's going to be in favour of Roman. I think it will be in favour of Drew.
Right, let's be technical. If Vince didn't play a part in this match, Drew has Roman every day. He's just he's a better technical wrestler.
He's better all round.
Yeah, but I prefer Drew, but I'm saying Roman for the
See,
win.
I've never ever been a Roman hater. Even when the crowds were booing, I mean, don't be wrong, the 2015 Royal Rumble was horse manure. That was, to keep it PG, that was complete twaddle. I'm going to say twaddle.
Complete twaddle.
But other than that, I've always been on Roman's bandwagon. I've never been a hater of his, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm saying Roman Reigns. You're saying Reigns, but you like it to be Drew.
Roman, yeah.
You were randomly saying Drew.
I think Drew. I think ever since he came back, he had his little stint with Ziggler, which was cool. He got him sort of on the telly a bit more. He had his screen time.
Raw Tag Team Champion.
Yeah, he proved what he was capable of as a tag team competitor. We know what he's capable of as a singles competitor, and I just think this is going to be his moment. Vince has always been a big Drew fan. Like Drew was Vince's puppy dog when he first came in. He was the
2009.
chosen one. I know Roman is Vince's guy. He is the guy. But I honestly think they're going to throw us a huge curveball here.
But
And I
this
think
is
Drew's
his
gonna
yacht
win.
now.
This is what?
Yacht. This is Roman's yacht now.
Because he is the big dog.
Drew's come to claim more of it.
Anyway,
Okay, up next we've got the Fatal 4-Way SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with the Usos. They're the current champions against Aleister Black and Ricochet, Rusev and Nakamura and The Bar.
and I just want to point out that you've already got the Fatal 4-Way tag team match with the women. They've just copy and pasted the same with the tag team here. I think this should have been a ladder match. Especially with the Usos, Black and Ricochet. I mean, 6:30 off of the ladder. I mean, come on.
Oh,
It
do
writes
like
itself, doesn't it? But it's not.
Like the one he did at War Games.
Off the ladder, he could do
Oh.
like a 1260.
Yeah.
Or the double rotation moonsault
Yeah.
in War Games. That was just orgasmic.
Who have we got first, boys?
I am going with Black and Ricochet. Now, the other rumour was that the reason that the Hardys weren't in this match was due to the fact that Vince is holding that off until the Saudi show for Usos versus the Hardys.
Yeah, keep
But
the
the
match everyone wants. Don't put the match everyone wants on the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, I know,
No,
tell me about it.
Yeah.
But the Saudi show has actually been pushed back to June. It is no longer 2 weeks after Mania like last year. I think to solidify them as a tag team, or just to solidify them in the main roster, they are going to give it to Black and Ricochet, and I think due to underhanded tactics from someone else who they can then go off and feud with and be single stars, I think Usos will win it back, and then you'll get Hardys versus Usos in June.
Question for you, Paul. Who's taking the pin?
I hope it's not Nakamura and Rusev. I hope it's one of the Sheamus. I hope it's Sheamus.
Do you know what? I can see either Sheamus or Cesaro taking the pin,
Not Cesaro, please.
or
not Cesaro.
Rusev and Nakamura and splitting. There's going to be, what's discontent between the two, and there's going to be a separation among them. They're not going to separate the Usos. They are the Usos. They
And
are
they've just re-signed.
tag team, yeah.
They have just re-signed. I would
Rusev,
have.
Nakamura, great singles competitors. I can see them going their separate ways. But again, I can also see Cesaro and Sheamus going their separate ways and having a singles run.
I think with
But
Sheamus.
the only way to end the tag team is to feud the tag team, and we've already had Sheamus versus Cesaro
been
7 times in a row.
But I think with Sheamus' neck injury, I don't think they're going to push him big time.
No.
And Cesaro, they've got no faith. I would love to have seen Cesaro on an IC title run,
Yeah.
but it's not going to happen. So I don't think the bar split up. But Rusev and Nakamura could. So
Yeah.
maybe them. And I hope, as much as I love Rusev, and I was such a supporter of Rusev Day, I'd rather Rusev take the pin than Nakamura.
Every
Because
day
Nakamura
is
for me
Rusev Day.
is one of the best, and I think he is one of the most underused people on that roster at the moment.
Also, he's over without having a gimmick.
His theme song.
Nakamura is Nakamura.
His theme song, everyone come out, they cheered it.
Yeah, it was like when Fandango's theme tune came out. It was popular. It
I
was,
know this is going to go off track, but my favourite Nakamura moment is sorry, speaking of English. The pop that received.
yeah, man. Nakamura's too good to be in a tag team. He's too much of a showman. His mic work, although limited English, is incredible. He creates an atmosphere around himself. He makes it believable when he's facing someone. You actually believe there's genuine heat between them, and that there's genuine bad blood. And it's just that entrance alone is mania worthy.
Superb.
Yeah.
So I'm going Black and Ricochet as well, probably for the same reasons.
I'm going Usos.
Ooh.
I do believe that Black and Ricochet could do a lot of good with the tag team titles.
But they're two single stars, that's the problem.
Yeah. There's more from about, whereas the Usos.
My only thing to you is, you look at WrestleMania, last year with the Raw Tag titles, next night they were vacated. The IC title, 2 years ago when Zack Ryder won it, next night it was dropped. I think with these two, it won't be on a clean basis. I think they will get screwed out of it by whoever they'll go off and feud with, because there's no automatic rematch clause anymore. I think Usos will win it back, but I think here for Mania, for the pop, Black Ricochet.
I can't see
And I hope Ricochet
WWE
gets
doing
the
that
pin.
kind to him. Can't see it.
Well, we'll have to see.
But then again, saying that, are WWE executives and writers really going to have them lose 2 tag team matches in such a short space of time? They're not going to want to see them go over like that.
Are you going to change it?
No, I think I'm still stick with the Usos.
Usos, okay.
Side note, they are competing as we're recording this.
Yeah, we're trying to be quick because the NXT predictions.
The match is on.
The NXT match is on right at the moment, so we need to be quick. Okay, so that being said, we are down to the singles match, which is Angle's last match. Kurt Angle is one of my personal favourites, and I will generally be quite sad when I see him retire. I do think it's time, because the poor man, through no fault of his own, is an absolute shadow of himself.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Time's caught up with him. He shouldn't have gone on the farewell tour. He should have saved his last match.
other than his hometown against the Cruz. But I generally thought that was going to be it, and then it was going to be, but no, they carried on. So, Angle versus Corbin. Right, I'm going to do a little side note here, but I'm going to say Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, if that is the match, which I hope to God it's not, I'm going to say Angle. It just wraps up the story. But I don't think it's going to be Corbin. I think Cena's been trashing Corbin on Twitter too many times. It's been announced so many times. When WWE don't want something to happen, they don't publicly announce it. Look at when Roman Reigns was getting booed. He'd be getting booed by an entire crowd, and yet they'll go, "Oh, it's Bizarro World." No, it's not. They don't want him as the main guy. You keep pushing him. But it's here, they keep alluding to it. They keep saying, "Oh, you know, we keep saying it's a poor matchup. It shouldn't be his last match." I think Angle's going to come out first. He's going to get the big pop. Corbin's going to come out, he's going to get a boot. Cena's going to appear out of nowhere, and he's going to take him out. And Cena's going to stand in. He's going to have a quick promo with Angle saying how I should be your last match to wrap it up, and we're going to get the ruthless aggression line in there. And if it's Angle, Cena, Kurt Angle being old school, how wrestlers always go out on their last match on their back, no dirty pun intended. I think it's going to be Cena.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Yeah, if it's Angle Corbin, there's no way they're going to let Corbin win. It will create far too much bad blood for Corbin. I don't think they want to keep him on this sort of negative run with the crowd for as long as it has
been. Naff since he's been
Constable.
I don't find it good heat where they annoy you. I find it just get off my screen. Yeah.
The best kind of heels are the people that are heels because they're good at it,
So
not
do
because
you not
we're
think
made to
Angle
hate
will
them.
like say farewell to his in-ring career by putting over a
No.
potential top star?
No. Not Corbin anyway, because Corbin. If
Not
it was someone else, just for argument's sake, say it was Seth Rollins, so I'm just spitballing, or Chad Gable, could gladly have him lose to him.
Yep.
I don't think it will be, and I think we've seen that. And I reckon the rumoured match was supposed to happen before he had his mental health issues, was Lars Sullivan. I think Cena will come out next night on Raw, and Sullivan will take him out, and that'll be Cena away, because I think he actually has another film that he's going to. I don't know what it is, but I remember seeing it recently that he's got another film he's
How
going
do you start? Because it was supposed to be Lars Sullivan versus Cena. So where will they carry that off? Like
SummerSlam probably. But I did not want to see that match because I have never been behind the Lars win either. I think he's boring. He's a Braun Strowman 2.0 with less personality.
Ryback 3.0.
So
let's not get into Ryback.
Yeah. So I am going to go Angle if it's Corbin, but I'm going to go Cena if it's Cena Angle, and if it is anyone else at Mania, which I couldn't see it being, like I said, on the night we will switch out our predictions.
Yes.
So I'm going with you.
Same thing, yeah.
I think we're all agreed. Angle Corbin, Angle, he's not going to lose.
Oh, is it nice when it all works out? Next match.
Thank you, Kurt Angle, for memories.
Yes, it's true.
Where are we now? It's the Falls Count Anywhere match between the greatest, what was it called? The best in the world?
Best in the world.
The best in the world, Shane O'Mac. I mean...
Colonel McSweaty Bollocks.
Yeah. The best in the world, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. I'm going straight up The Miz.
Yes, and again, fantasy booking here. I think we're going to see, I've said to these two before, we're going to see the old Steve Blackman, Shane McMahon spot. He's going to go up to some high structure. Miz is going to be on some sort of disguised airbag, and it's going to look like something hard. Shane's going to jump off trying to take him out, and good old Miz Senior, good old Georgie boy, he's going to pull Miz out of the way. Shane's going to crash and burn, Miz is going to cover, Miz is going to win.
George's doing bits.
Yeah, ever since the whole, desperate to make my dad proud of me in the ring moment he had with Shane, Shane's going to play on that throughout the match.
Make me shudder.
George Mizanin's going to think, no, you know what, I'm not letting my boy go down like this, and he's going to step up to the plate.
Don't care if I'm 68 years old now.
And then in 6 months' time, we're going to see a fuse between Miz and George Mizanin facing off against the McMahons.
Oh, fantasy booking.
Fantasy
George
booking.
does a 630
Unrealistic
off the
booking.
top rope.
Yeah, and
No,
then
he's
Swiss
straight up-
gets a corkscrew.
George does coast to coast.
Oh, jeez.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, but George Mizanin would do coast to coast by using his bus pass to get him there. I think, Miz is going to beat Shane. It's going to be, for
Miz.
me, I think it's going to be the best match of the
It's
night.
got to be Miz. And then I'm looking forward to this match the most. This is the no holds barred match where if Triple H loses, he has to retire from in competition. It's Triple H versus Batista. I'm going Triple H.
It has to be. I think it was when he announced the fact that if he loses, he retired. I think it telegraphs it.
Yeah.
But did you also see the comment that he put out recently? He said, "I've been medically cleared. I'm just hoping my pec holds up."
Do you think that could lead on
And
to another?
I think there's going to be a lot of weapons involved because I think he needs to limit his moves because I think anything he'll end up tearing it again. Because a pectoral recovery time, you're talking he should not be back till June, July. But I think he's pushed this forward himself.
The day it happened, he was ruled out until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he's.
I mean, the match at Crown Jewel was awful. Instead of right hand punching, he was chopping with his left hand. It was just painful to watch.
I think they're going to get a good 2-3 matches out of this thing.
No, this.
No, I don't think Batista will quit until he gets over. I reckon this will either happen again at Saudi. I think this might happen again at Saudi. That's my.
I do think Triple H will make an appearance at Saudi Arabia.
I think Triple H will win, and then Batista will be like, no, I want a rematch, and then they'll book it for Saudi.
Will there be a stipulation for the Saudi Arabia match?
If Batista loses, he retires probably.
No, I think Batista's already announced that this is going to be his one and only match. So I'm going to Triple H, and I think this is one and done. The whole storyline is how Batista has always won. Triple H has never beaten him.
I want old Batista back. I don't want blue Batista.
See, that was never his fault. He always, in 2014 when he come back, he said to the creative team, I want to come back as a bad guy, they're not going to like me. And they weren't having any of it. And they brought it back.
I mean like old ring gear and that. I want that Batista back.
Real animal Batista.
Yeah. I don't want him to be sponsored by his jiu-jitsu school.
I'm also going to say he'll come out in something blue just to really wind the fans up. He's
That
been
would
doing
be
it with his
great.
glasses lately, blue glasses.
Although, did you notice on
nose
Monday
ring.
Night Raw, the nose ring and the glasses were red?
Yes, they
They
were.
were red.
But that was because he was in his hometown. I think that was to stop booing.
The Washington Redskins.
And that promo on Raw, 4 words, and I think that was better than the previous week.
Yeah,
the Triple H
so-
one, 'cause that
Give me what I want.
Just
Give me what
love
I
it.
want.
It was just direct, it got to the point and it was like, you know what,
And it was the simple,
yeah,
just point. That's
mic
it.
drop, done. It's
Sorted.
a genuine feud. It's almost believable that they hate each other. Triple H is going to win,
Even though they're best
and
friends.
that's it. Yeah, and then Batista's going to go and do more Guardians of the Galaxy and save the world some more.
Providing the
He's got
director's
a-
still there.
Yeah.
He's got another film coming. No spot.
That should be good. So, right, Triple H.
Triple H.
Next up, now I'm looking forward to this one because I think these two don't agree with me on this one. The singles match for the WWE Championship, the new Daniel Bryan, the champion, versus Kofi Kingston, and I'm going to say outright now, I am not on the Kofi bandwagon. I think, yes, there'd be a pop if he won it, but I think it'd peter out extremely quickly, and I think that Daniel Bryan is on the best heel run. He's the best heel in the company at the moment, I
Agreed.
think. So
Only because Miz is.
I'm gonna. Yes, true. I'm gonna say Daniel Bryan retention due to Big E turning heel on Bryan. I think Bryan will. I think Kofi will have the match won, but I think Big E is going to cost him at the request of Vince McMahon.
Yep.
And I think the one that actually will beat Daniel Bryan will be The Miz at SummerSlam, a year on from their last match. Good.
I have a new theory about this because up to a couple of weeks ago, the Saudi thing was on May 3rd. Bryan doesn't want to go to Saudi.
No.
No, he's openly said.
If now it's in June, he has longer. So I, as much as I
Money in the Bank.
as much as I want Kofi to win, like he deserves it. He's put in so much time, effort, blood, sweat, tears. I reckon Bryan's got it.
So, my theory, bit of a fantasy booking. Daniel Bryan is going to win. As much as I'd like to see Kofi win it just because of the pop, it'd be mad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Daniel Bryan to retain, and I do think there's going to be some outside interference from Big E. I do think he's going to play a part, as Paul has said, at the request of Vince McMahon. Big E's tired. He's constantly putting in all this work, being the muscle for the New Day.
Have we had heel Big E yet?
Yes, right at the start. He
with,
debuted at
Ziggler
WrestleMania
and
29 as Ziggler's
Ziggler's
bodyguard.
heavy.
But
yeah.
going forward, I think Big E's going to be tired of the being the support for Kofi. Big E wants his run. Him and Vince.
Big E was a good NXT champion.
He's still. I hate his finisher, but he's
Yeah.
a very good wrestler, especially for his size. And I want to stress, I think it's only Big E that's going to turn heel. I don't think Woods will.
Exactly.
And I think that will send Kofi and Woods off into a feud with Big E and possibly Mr. McMahon, although McMahon might wrestle, keeping away from the title picture. And I still think the original match that would have been would have been Kevin Owens, I still think Brian would have retained because I think it would have been Sami Zayn interference costing. So I think Daniel Bryan would have walked out from here at any point because I still see Bryan losing to Miz.
I think come Saudi Arabia show, Kofi will be champion. Because they can't, no, they have to. They can't not have the WWE Championship at a WWE event.
But what's to say? What's the next event after Mania?
Money in the Bank.
Exactly. Daniel Bryan retains because of Big E's outside interference. So Big E does it at the agreement that he will face Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank.
Kofi costs him, and then the Money in the Bank winner cashes in that
Yeah.
night. I'd like to see that.
There's going to be so much more at Money in the Bank. Otherwise, why would they bring it so much further forward?
All they're going to do else is put Kofi, Big E, and
We know Daniel Bryan's not going to go to Saudi, so the title's not going to be
Which,
on.
by the way, I agree. Just putting that out there. I'm not a fan of the
let's
Saudi
not
show.
get
It's too hot out there.
Let's not get
He's
to
vegan,
Yeah, that's
very
right.
pale,
Yeah.
and he burns very easily. Wear sunscreen.
He doesn't like government
Let's
murdering.
not get into
Just saying.
politics.
Yeah, okay, so next match.
Oh.
Next match, it's the big one. It's the big one. It's the singles match for the Universal title between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins, the Beast Slayer. Hopefully. I really hope he does. I'm so bored of Brock.
Now,
He's never bored of Brock.
Brock kicks out of every bleeding finisher. I would love to see the finish being Seth goes for his springboard like he does with his knee or with his clothesline, but he springboards up and hits a curb stomp from there. A giant curb stomp.
He's
and
got
that's
to put
what
him
puts
down.
Brock
He's got to do it big time.
Right, and one last fantasy booking is I think Brock's going to attack Seth after the match, and this is where Reigns and thank you, Ambrose will come out and we'll have one final short powerbomb, setting up Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Saudi, and that will be without the title, and that will be Brock's going out match.
Yeah.
And it'll be because Reigns can still get a good momentum from that because he's the man that finally got rid of Brock from WWE. Because it's now been confirmed that Brock Lesnar will be facing Daniel Cormier
Daniel
at
Cormier.
UFC in August. So timelines works out. But yes, I'm going for Seth Rollins. I hope that they don't make the same mistake as last year. I'm praying that they've learned from Mania last year because I don't want to sit there for another Universal title match with the crowd chanting, "This is boring," which it was. I nearly fell asleep in that match.
I'm also going for Seth, but I think this is going to be a ref bump match.
Yeah?
I reckon somehow Heyman will get involved.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's got it.
Or Heyman turning on Lesnar like he did at Survivor Series 2002 and aligning with Seth.
Yes.
Seth-
I'd love to see it.
that-
But do you not think Seth is too strong on the mic?
Seth doesn't-
to
Seth
have
doesn't-
a mic,
I don't
man.
actually
That's
think
the
he's as
only
good as
thing.
people think he is on the mic. He's good, don't be
Yeah.
wrong, but I don't think he's great. Paul Heyman is the god.
There isn't anyone better in WWE than
I think
Paul Heyman.
Heyman will get involved. Somehow, some way, Brock will bump the ref, and then it will be Seth will notice the ref's down. Some sort of yes,
Because you saw it on Raw.
He loves a low blow.
couple of low blows,
He's going to tickle the testicles.
Tickle.
couple of low blows, couple of curb stumps. 1, 2, 3. We have our new Universal Champion.
And the thing is, Seth will be a legitimate champion.
Can they please get rid of the jam belt?
Yeah, we don't like the red belt.
Just get rid
We
of
don't
that
like the
horrible
red
jam
belt.
belt. I spread my toast with that belt. Hey, come on.
I don't see their thinking behind having a red strap. It was
No.
alright, a red plate,
Raw,
okay,
red
but red raw, but I don't know.
So let's
Oh, it's been around since 2016. Let's just not go
But
with that
then
one.
again, we now have a vegan title.
hemp.
Oh, that was cool.
Eco
I'm sorry.
friendly title.
Sorry, that was cool. Because I sat there for ages thinking, you keep going on
They're
about being a
selling it.
vegan.
It's on the.
Did they retire the SmackDown title? Or is it just
No,
in the? It's still in the bin.
But I love the fact because I
It's
kept,
in the WWE archives, and you can watch that on WWE's YouTube channel.
but I kept plugging that. I kept saying like, well, hang on a minute. He's saying he's vegan, yet he's holding around this leather belt. I mean, come on. Oh, sorry. Title. We're not allowed to call it a belt.
Strap.
Strap. And then all of a sudden, the next week they come out. There you go. Hemp. I thought, yeah, there you go. Brilliant. They've been listening to me. But anyway, I think we're getting a bit off track. So, yeah, Universal Championship match. I've got hopefully Seth. You've got
Seth.
Yeah, Seth again.
And
We're
then-
agreeing on quite a
and then-
few.
We have the history-making First ever women's main event. Triple threat. Becky Lynch, the man Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Ric Flair's daughter.
Fancy
Winner,
booking.
winner takes all.
Fancy booking. Yet again, that's going to be our bleeding catchphrase. I think at the end we're going to get Piper's Pit to Lynch. She's going to be laid out. Flair's going to tangle with Charlotte. Charlotte's going to manage to hit a natural selection with Rousey rolling out. She's then going to pick up Lynch, who's still down. Lynch is going to roll into a small package, roll through into the disarmer. Flair's going to tap out. You're going to have.
I'm going to mark out so much if all of this happens.
You're going to have Rousey. You're going to have Rousey go away until New Year. No, I think she'll be gone for the rest of the year.
Be gone for a bit longer.
And I think she'll come out maybe number 27 at next year's Rumble, and she's going to win it. Just to really wind the fans up even more, and you're going to finally have the one-on-one match next year with Lynch, who I hope is still the champion because they need to elongate these reigns.
Yeah.
And I hope we have Lynch Rousey maybe in the main event again at Mania 36. So yeah, I'm going Becky Lynch.
Do you think they'll do it 2 years in a row?
Hope so.
Women's main
Because I think this one will be very successful.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I'm going with Becky win.
Yeah,
she's going to hold the title for a long time.
It's the last match. They want to send the crowd home happy.
Yeah,
They're not going to have Charlotte or Rousey win. The crowd will just boo. Look at last year. They had Roman Reigns kick out of 5 F5s. I mean, that was utter nonsense. And the crowd.
Goldberg took like 4.
Goldberg's a different machine.
Goldberg took 4. No, he didn't.
Did he?
He squashed him,
Literally, the
didn't he?
entire match consisted of 4 spears, a jackhammer, and Lesnar was the first one to kick out of a jackhammer spear combo. No one had ever done that, and he took 10 Germans and then 1 F5 after it.
Oh.
And
Oldberg.
Yes. Oh no, I love Goldberg. I'm not going to diss Goldberg.
Goldberg
That was one of
my hero.
I was the only one that picked Goldberg at Survivor Series 2016, and I said it would last less than 2 minutes. I sat there completely marking out. I thought, yes.
Do you reckon they'll combine titles or keep them separate?
No, combine them, because the rumour is that I actually read today that they are actually already designing a brand new championship, which I reckon we will see. It'll be like Lesnar and Lesnar after SummerSlam. He won the 2 belts, and then the next night on Raw they come out and awarded him the singles belt.
I just don't think the women's division.
Don't be pink. Can't be
Definitely
pink.
not pink.
Or butterflies or some.
I don't think the women's division is big enough to have or to warrant having 2 titles on separate shows. They've got some fantastic performers.
Superstars.
They're performers. Superstars. They've got some fantastic superstars who can make this women's division so much bigger than it is already at the moment. Especially with someone like Becky Lynch taking the title forward. And that way it just makes having the one title so much more prestigious. It's, I think they will unify the titles.
Do you know what I thought the original plan was when it was going to be just SmackDown? I thought it was going to be Asuka versus Deville and Rose.
Rose was going to win.
And I think during the match, because there was no other reason to make her the host, Alexa was going to introduce herself and win the belt. I think that would have been the swerve. But I think
might
they
happen in
obviously
this
dropped
match.
that. No, not at all.
Alexa's
But I think
not-
at the time there was no reason. Every host they made has been a legend. It's not other than the New Day, but that's a unit. But I think there was no other reason to make Alexa Bliss host.
Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair in a ring competing for
Don't want to ruin this.
the women's title. You don't want to insert Alexa Bliss into the match. As much as we love Alexa,
Also,
this match is destined to be great.
can we just take a minute to mention the knee that Ronda took on Monday?
Not just
my
the knee
jaw
that
hurts
she
from watching
took,
that.
the way she clobbered her head on the side of the car door as well.
With broken glass as well. I mean, I know it probably wasn't real.
Probably
glass,
shouldn't have
but-
lost, but
Right,
it's still
so-
going to hurt.
I'm going Becky.
I'm going Becky.
Yeah,
That's it.
all agreed. So, just to clarify, we have, I mean, I know again NXT is actually going on at the moment. In future, we'll make sure our NXT predictions are out at least 2 days before. Just enough time so we know that the card is complete. Just to clarify, I'm going for NXT War Raiders, Volta, Io Shirai, Matt Riddle and Adam Cole, and then at Mania I'm going for the Battle Royals, Andrade and Lacey Evans and Tony Nese to win. followed by the Raw Tag titles of Hawkins, Ryder, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe to retain unless there's someone else in there like we said before, Iconics, Demon Balor, Roman Reigns, Black and Ricochet, Kurt Angle if it's Corbin, but Cena if it's Cena Angle, Miz, Triple H, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins and Becky.
I'm going to go with War Raiders, Walter, Shayna Baszler, Dream, Cole, Andrade, Nikki Cross, Buddy Murphy, Hawkins and Ryder, AJ Styles.
Really? You're changing that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Samoa Joe, Nia Jax, Demon Finn, Reigns, Black and Ricochet, Kurt, Miz, Triple H, Bryan, Seth and Becky.
I've gone NXT Tag Team Championship is going to be the War Raiders. I think Walter will beat Pete Dunne. Io Shirai to win the NXT Women's Championship. The NXT North American Championship to go to Matt Riddle. The NXT Championship to be Adam Cole. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal to be Shelton Benjamin. The Women's Battle Royal to be Nikki Cross. And then the Cruiserweight Championship to be Buddy Murphy. Now going on to the main show, I believe the Tag Team Championships will be Hawkins and Ryder. The singles match between AJ Styles and Randy Orton to be Randy Orton. The US title will go to Samoa Joe. The Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team Championships to be the Iconics. The IC title match between Lashley and Balor to be Balor. The singles match between Roman and Drew. I am going with I'm going with Drew. The Fatal 4-Way SmackDown Tag Team Championships to go to the Usos. Kurt Angle to beat Corbin. The Miz to beat Shane McMahon. Triple H to beat Batista. Daniel Bryan to beat Kofi. And Rollins to beat Lesnar. And the Women's Triple Threat match to be Becky.
Okay, right, we just want to clarify one more time that yes, we know the quality of this video isn't superb, we know the videos itself are quite basic at the moment. This is not how it's going to stay. We will try in time to improve our quality of the videos, our actual recording equipment, but we can't do that at the moment. We've sort of had to spur a lot of this together with a short amount of time, so for the next few weeks we reckon the videos will be slightly basic. Please bear with us.
The quality won't be great to begin with, but the content is going to be on fire.
Couldn't have said it better.
So in the coming weeks we will be branching out on social media. We will be on Twitter, Facebook and quite possibly going with an Instagram page.
Possibly Twitch, you think?
Yeah,
we'll have to see about that.
We're going to look at all sorts, but you'll hear all about it on here and probably from us as well. It's just getting all the the basics down, all the equipment, working out a time schedule and a time frame that we can work it all in. We are all busy outside of this. We're actually recording at work at the moment as well. But yeah, we will have something a little bit more permanent set up in the long run. We're just finding our feet.
And a better space as well.
Yeah, and as Paul said, this has all been sort of hurried together really quick. We've been really lucky. Paul's got all this sorted out. He's planned it all out for us so we know what we're doing. But the content will keep coming. The quality is going to get better as we go along. But please, yeah, keep supporting. And yeah, share.
That's the thing, guys. For us to be able to be successful, this is a brand new thing for us. It's something that I know personally I've wanted to do for at least a year. Yeah. And we wanted to sort of get this going, but we need your support. So please, can you like and subscribe? Tell your friends, anyone you know that are wrestling fans, get them to see it.
We appreciate input as well. We're not afraid to take on board comments.
Give us video ideas down in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you want to see less of.
And also, this sort of concept is new for us. I know a lot of the times we notice we're probably talking over each other, we're bantering, we're bickering. It can sometimes be a bit annoying to watch. We will try and sort that out in future videos. This is very new to us. We don't sit there in front of a camera a lot of the times. So it's something we're going to have to get used to as well. It will change, it will get better. Scouts honour. I will also be trying to do a singles video, which I think these guys will follow up with other championship ideas. My singles video, I'm not quite sure now because we've had a bit of a time constraint. When I'll be putting it up, it may be before Mania, it may be after. It's probably going to be after, but what I'll be doing is, if it were up to me, where I put myself in the shoes of a WWE writer and trying to book a certain topic myself, and I will be going with the Women's Championship going forward from the night after Mania, with a slash of the character of Asuka and how you would book her up again. So please stay tuned, and we will be seeing that one up on our channel very soon. So I've been Paul.
I've been Sean.
And I've been Ben.
And you've been watching Alpha Wrestling Reviews, so stay safe, take care, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.